welcome back to Stylish Nigeria YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your love, for your support. If you are new to the channel, you're welcome. If you have not subscribed, I would appreciate for you to hit on the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel. Okay guys, so in today's video, and then hit the bell also to get an update whenever I upload a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew a princess that top with a high neckline. So you can see the picture up there. That is what we are going to be learning, and I'm going to make this video very detailed, that as the beginner, after watching this video, you will be able to cut and sew a princess that top. Okay, so if you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button. I would appreciate for you to like the video. It will actually help me a lot. So like the video, guys. So guys, let's just get started straight into our tutorial for today. Let's get started. Okay guys, so this is the fabric that I'm actually going to be using, but I decided to do our draft on our lining. Okay, so before I continue, I have some lines here, and then I'm going to explain the measurements that I'm going to be using. So the bust measurement that I'm using for this pattern is actually 34 inches. That's when you measure your bust round, is 34, and then I'm going to divide that 34 into 4. I'll have 8.5, and then the under bust, so this is the bust line. Okay, so I have some lines. So this is the shoulder line, and then this is the bust line. So this is where I'm going to add this bust measurement that I just measured, and then from my shoulder to my bust is 10 inches, and then from my shoulder, this is the under bust line, this is under bust. I have, okay, sorry, from my shoulder to my bust is actually 9.5, yes, and then from the shoulder to the under bust is 12.5. So, and then my bust, under bust round, that's when you measure the under bust round, I have 28 inches. So I'll divide that into 4. I'm going to have 7 inches, and then from my shoulder to my waist, that's the tummy area where the half cut is going to be, is 18 inches. And then when you measure that part round, I'm going to have 30 inches. Okay, so I have 13 inches. So I'll divide that 30 into 4. So this is my waist. I'll have 7.5. So these are all the measurements that I'm going to be using. In case you don't understand, you can just ask a question in the comment section, so I'll reply and tell you. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to take out our bust span measurement. So bust span measurement is actually from one nipple point to the other. So that's what a bust span is. It's usually used to take out that when you are making dresses. Okay, so we're going to come to this point now. So this is just an extra of like 2 inches for allowance that I added. So I'm going to come to this point now. I'm going to mark my bust span. So the bust span that I'm making use of for this pattern, this particular pattern, is actually 7.5 inches. So I'll add half inches to it to give me 8 inches. So that 8 inches, just divide that into 2. I'm going to have 4 inches. So that 4 inches, I'm going to mark that 4 inches across all of these lines, except on my shoulder line. Okay, so you can see my 4 inches, I marked it across, and then I'll connect that with a straight ruler like this. Okay, so this is actually my front pattern, and then the back pattern is behind. So I'll connect them like this. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to measure, take out our shoulder measurement. That's after connecting the dot line. So the shoulder measurement that we're using is 13. So you divide 13 into 2, we're going to have 6.5 inches. So that 6.5 inches, I'll add half of an inch to it to give me 7 inches. So that is okay. You can add 1 inch to give it 7.5. That will still work fine. So I've marked it on that point, and then from this point, I'm just going to come down by half of an inch, which I'm going to slope into this neckline point like this. That's, I'll float that into the shoulder line. I'll just connect it through like that. Okay, so from this point, I'm going to mark half of my armhole measurement. So half of my armhole is 15 inches. Divide that into 2, I'll have 7.5. So I'll mark it here, and then I'll connect it with a straight line like this. Okay, and then I'll just do this. So the next thing now, we're going to connect this line to create out our princess that style line. It is a simple process. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to measure this point like this. So I'll take half of what I have here, have this half of 7.5, So you can just divide that to make it easy like that, and then place it, so that will make it really easy for you like this. Okay, so that is where, from this point is where I'm going to connect to this point. Okay, so it is a very simple process. So I'm trying to get a curve, a beautiful curve, and then I'll connect it to this point like this, so you can see what I'm doing. I've connected it. So from this point, because I don't, because if I cut this part, it's going to get truncated. I'm going to add a little bit of that intake on this princess dart. So for that, that's like a bust dart, okay? So I'll come to this point like this, and then I'll mark half of an inch. You can do 1 inch, that will still be okay. And then that part, I'm just going to blend it into this point like this, okay? So you can see. So I'm blending that. So this part I'm going to take off. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to extend this line because I don't want when I cut it, it's going to get shortened. So I'll just increase it. You can do 1 inch or 1.5, that's still okay. So since this is a small size, I'll just do 1 inch, okay? So that 1 inch, I'll just extend it like this, and then still extend it because I don't want that truncation. And then here now I'm going to add my armhole line like this. So I've added my armhole line, so you can see it looks good. So the next thing now, I'm going to take out my dart from this side. So coming down to this part for my dart, I'm going to mark 2 inches. So I'll come to my under bust line, I'll mark 2 inches on this part like this. Okay, so that 2 inches, I'm going to connect that 2 inches to my bust point line like this. It is a simple process, you can see. Just connect that two. So if it is a bigger bust, you can go ahead, just take out 2.5 inches. That will still work nicely. So you can see our princess that looks really good. So the next thing now, these 2 inches, we're just going to extend it down. So we have succeeded in taking out our dart, okay? So you can see we took out a very beautiful dart. So you can see we added the bust dart, and then we added the waist dart, which is beautiful. So the next thing, this will give the bodice a very good fit. So the next thing now, we're going to take out our full body measurement. So the bust measurement, like we said, 34 divide by 4, we're going to have 7.5. So our 7.5, we're going to mark it here, which still works here, this 7.5. And then remember this part, when we cut, we're going to have a little bit of truncation, so we don't want that. So we're going to add that back into the dart point. So for the dart, I'm going to go as much as 3 inches for my allowance, okay, because I don't want short edge. If you have been following me, you know I like a lot of allowance. It's better for me to trim it out than for me not to have allowance, for it to be tight. So I'll come to the under bust part, which we're using 7 inches because we have measured that already. Then I'm going to mark my 7 inches here, and then my 2 inches, I'm going to bring that back into my pattern, and then I'm going to add my allowance like this, and then I'm going to connect this like this. And then the next now, I'll mark my waist measurement, which is 30 divided by 4. I have 7.5. Okay, this was supposed to be 7 inches. Okay, okay. And then I'll bring my 2 inches back, and then I'll add my allowance on this part also. So at the end of the day, you can see our bodies look so beautiful and perfect. So guys, this is it's very simple classic princess dart. So I'm going to cut the back and the front together. I'll place it like this. So I have my allowance for my back piece, and then I'm going to cut it, and then you will see. So for the back piece, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mark my dart points like this, because for the back, I'm just going to add my dart. So my dart is going to run straight. So you can see what I did. It's just going to run straight like this. So that is for my back dart, which is really easy. So just mark it here. That's mark this point here, and then mark this point here, and then connect the lines together. Okay, so that is for my back dart. So the next thing, I'm going to cut this out right now. So the next thing is for me to transfer this to my fabric. Okay guys, so you can see we have finished cutting. Okay, so I finished cutting. So the next thing, we'll move over to our machine to go and stitch. So I'll show you how to join it. So I'll join it first before I add the neckline. So these are the materials that I'm going to use to interface them, like pad, a little bit of padding. Okay, so let's just go and do that. Okay guys, so we are going to start stitching now. So the first thing we're going to stitch, so this is the center piece. So I've ironed it. So I just ironed interfacing on it. I used hair stitch just to give it a little bit of stability. Okay. So I'm going to pick one piece. I'm going to start stitching from the down part like this, so you can see how I'm placing it. So I'm using about quarter of an inch for the stitch. So once I get to the part that has the bust, that the cups area, I'm going to navigate it. And that, just don't do it in a hurry, just relax and just keep turning it. So you can see it entered nicely. So I'm going to do the second one also. And then after doing the second one, so you can see I'll do the front, the back piece also, and then I'll bring it back and show you how to add a high neckline, the measurement and the dimensions that we'll use. Okay. Actually, did not pad the chest area, which is okay. So it looks okay, it looks good. I'm just trying to check it. So the next thing, I'll do the same thing to the back, and then I'll iron it. So this is the back piece. Okay guys, so you can see, so I finished stitching. So this is, so I've arranged the front piece. So this is my lining. So you can see it looks really good. So this is the back. So I'll keep them on the side. So we're going to work on this front pattern now. So the first thing I'm going to do now, for us to add our necklines, is a simple process. So I'm going to do it on the right side like this. So for the neckline is a small neckline, it's not a very big neckline. So I'm going to use about 2.5 inches for the wideness. So I'll mark the 2.5 inches like this. And then on these points like this, I'm just going to come down a little bit with about quarter of an inch. So that would like help for my shoulder seam, okay? And then the next thing, I'm going to come down for the neckline. I'm going to come down by 2.5 inches. So I'll mark my 2.5 inches like this, and then I'm going to connect this with my ruler like this, okay? And then for the back neckline, I'm going to use 1 inch for the back neckline. So this is my back neckline, so you can see how it is. So I'm just marking it down there, and then the width is going to be the same like this also. So I'll just mark this like this. So that is for the back, and then this is for the front. So I'm just trying to double check it. So at the end of the day, okay. So the next thing, I'm going to place them on my lining. I'll cut it out the same exact way and then show you. Okay guys, so I finished trimming. I've done all of my trimming. So the next thing, I'm going to take this back to my machine, and then I'm going to stitch it round along the neckline part. So this is how I'm going to place them. Okay. So as a beginner, this is how you actually place your line, and then push this part in the bust area. Push it. Just make sure that the points that they match on the bust point, the lines. Okay, and then I'm going to take this. So this, I'm actually making it as a sleeveless. So I'm going to go all the way. I'll stitch it round like this, and then stitch it round like this, and then do the neckline also. So I'll do the same thing to the back and then place it on the mannequin for you to see the final look of our princess dart top. Okay, guys, so at the end of the day, you can see how our princess dart top looks like. So like I said, as the beginner, after watching this video, you will be able by now be able to cut and sew this top. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, please hit on the like button, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I will see you